Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know about the other bro, but let's start. If he's coming, then you'll find us now.
Okay.
So it sounds. Have you managed to practice what we done last time?
Yes, so last week we covered data types, so
Yo,
except the dictionary, so I was practicing on those.
yo, yeah. I was thinking that since you're still doing basics, I won't maybe give you like a homework. Because it's at least if I can give you a homework, I can give you when we are starting to read some files. I would like different
Okay.
files. Yes,
Yeah, that's good.
yeah, and maybe like that's where maybe because it's a real world, like way like it's a hands-on work. But if you're still doing basics like this, it will be a little bit difficult. But when I'm doing these basics, I'll try to also show you where we're gonna use these basics, so that you can have a better understanding. Because me, when I started doing Python, I was just following. When you are, even if you are doing a self-study, like maybe watching YouTube and all these other places, sometimes you see someone just coding, and then you ask yourself, why is it saying like this? Because the code is like an instruction. It's just telling you do this, do this, do this, do this. But me, I like to ask myself, why are we doing this? Why is this code saying print this and this and this? Yeah. So that's how I understand coding. I don't just memorize, because memorize, the more you code, you start coding, the more it's easier for you to memorize a code, but to understand is very difficult. So that's what I'm trying to teach you, is for you to understand the why behind the code. So, okay, for today, uh, this is see this code here. We're gonna come to this code, but this is for machine learning. So, our today's lesson, the basic we're gonna be learning is related. This skill you're gonna use it for machine learning in the future, and maybe other things, maybe automation and all these other things. Okay, let me do like this. The layout is not going. Okay, so uh, Ayomite, do you know anything around here? Are you familiar with Jupyter Notebook?
Not really.
Are you familiar with Jupyter Notebook?
No.
I can't hear you. Sorry?
Uh,
Uh, Seems like you are breaking, but okay. Uh, so yeah, if you don't know anything about Jupyter Notebook, Jupyter Notebook is a okay. This is where we use Python. If you can notice here, we have a Python here, but Python is like a pen. So, and the Jupyter is a notebook where you are writing your language, or maybe you are writing the instruction that you want the computer to give you. So Python, take it as an ink or a pen that you're using to write inside Jupyter notebook. So that is why we say it's a notebook. So here we have what is called a cell. So this is a cell, and then this box here will show you if the code is running or not. If it's not running, then it will be empty here. If it is running, then it will have a number here, any number that will show here. Okay, so okay, so for today maybe we'll start. I think for you maybe we'll still have to cover these other lessons that we did with the other pros. So let me just start here for today. So for today we're gonna be doing the if but before we do if functions, we'll go through maybe like a little bit on the data types that we did last time, because we didn't do dictionary. I promised to continue with dictionary this time. So last time what we spoke about was we spoke about uh, the first one was, let's say, saying two. So two is which data type? Terms, what is a two? Which data type? Tamas.
Hello?
Yeah, two is which data type?
Integer.
Integer. Oh. So two is an integer. So we're saying two. Okay, two is an integer. Okay. Okay. So how do we know it's an integer? Then we'll say, okay, how do we know it's an integer? Which
Type.
we're saying type. Type two. So we put two, we're saying type, and then we open brackets, and then we're saying two, then we close the brackets, then say shift enter. Okay, then it will say int, which means integer. So then we have maybe a, let's say, high. So high is what sound? Thomas. Okay. High is a type. If you're saying type, high is a string. So we said a string is anything that is a text. It can be maybe high. So it is a string. But here, if you say maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, it's an integer because these are numbers. So this is a string. And then we went to what is called list. So we said if we say type then it is a list, or maybe say so it is still a list. Yeah, so this is a list. And then we spoke also about the tuple. If you're saying one, so tuple is using a round bracket. So for example, we have y is equal to so since this is a round bracket, this is a round bracket, so if we're saying type and then we since y is our variable, we'll put y here, say tuple. So this is our tuple, this is our list. Then we have a what is called a okay, let's say we have what is called okay. So last time we have what is called a set. So we'll say maybe a w is equal to a 2, 6, 8, 9, 10, or maybe let's say 0. Then we say a set it will arrange the numbers in an ascending order. So let's print this and see if it's gonna arrange it. So we'll say print w. Okay, still processing. W, let's see. So yeah, so it's instead of saying 2, 6, 8, 9, 0, it will say 0, 2, 6, 8, 9. So it is arranging them in an ascending order. Yeah, so we won't go into depth on what we spoke about last time. So we will okay, so we said today we're gonna speak about gonna talk about what is okay, we say type. Okay, we're gonna talk about so what is a dictionary? Okay, dictionary is a let's see if we say shift tab. So they're saying a new empty dictionary, a new dictionary initialized from a mapping objects, key or value, then says pairs. So this is what we're gonna be dealing with in a dictionary. We arrange our data in terms of keys and values, or we can say pairs. So basically it is something like, if you remember in maths, we have x and y, x value and the y value. So this is a key. This is basically a key, and this is a value. So our data will be arranged according to this format. Okay. Okay, so now let's say maybe we're saying my details. So when you want to write maybe a variable, you don't leave a space like this. If you want to skip it or maybe create a space, you should put underscore like this, because if you just say my details is equals, it won't run, it will give you a problem. So I will show you when you are running the code. So you have to put an underscore like this. So now we have to put what is called curly brackets. So dictionaries, they use what is called curly brackets. Okay, so these are the curly brackets. Then, so the first thing is you open the brackets, and then you put your first, you put what is called a key. So I'll say name. Then I'll say, I'll put a colon there. Then I'll say blessing. Then I'll say maybe a country. South Africa. A city. I'll say I'll just put anyway, say daily. Five. Okay, then I can close our curly brackets. So then we can run this. Okay. So now it's running now. There's a number here. Okay. So we can just say, let's copy this one. Say copy. Me, I like to just run, or I just say print. Print, close the bracket. This is how it is. So it says name is blessing, country South Africa, city Durban, daily task there are 5. So what is it? What is really telling us here? Okay, where is the key? Where is the value? Okay, so let's first see if it's really a dictionary. Let's see. Let's say type Control V. it is a dictionary. Is a dictionary. So how is it different with the with the what is this one? Okay, let's see what is this one. Say type W. How is it different with the sets? Because it seems like they both are using the curly bracket, but the sets are used when you want to arrange your data inside. So basically, it is like putting the data in form of commas and then put the curly brackets. But this one, you have to divide your data into keys and values. So what are the values, what are the keys in this data? So let's see. So we will say, okay, we'll say dot values. Yeah, let's say. Okay, so yeah, let me just say print. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So it's saying which one are the values. So the values is placing, it is placing South Africa, city, and daily task. Oh no, it is a placing South Africa, city. Okay, it says 5. So these are the values. Yeah. Okay. So what happened if we change and set 5? Say 5. Okay, still saying 5. Okay. So these are all your values. So what are our keys now? Okay, say keys. So our keys is a name, it is a country, it is a city, and it is a task. So these are all our keys. Oh, and then yeah, these are all our keys. So basically, the keys are this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and the values is placing this one, and this one. So all these ones that are on the right side, they are the they are the keys, and these one are the values. So this is what is called a dictionary. You separate your data in form of a key and a value. So let's make another example and say, uh, let's say, let's say, let's say maybe people. square brackets, it should be then we say so we say fruit. So this is our dictionary. So we say fruit, fruit, key. So remember that it's Python is case sensitive, so it must be small. These are all our keys. Our keys are apple, banana, and orange. Then our values. So these are our values. This is 2, 4. So I think now you understand. As long as there is this side is a values, this side is keys, values, keys, values, keys. So this is basically what is called a dictionary. You can use it on different things. Like for this one, maybe you just want to print maybe the number of apples, bananas, and orange. Okay. So this is our last data type. So last time we even spoke about what is called a boolean. The booleans, we said if you say in type, or if you say in type, okay. So yeah, this is our dictionary that we're doing today. So now another thing I want to show you is the if function. Okay. So the if function is there in Excel. It's also there in SQL, it's also there in Python. I'm not sure about these other languages, but I'm sure in R, and I don't know about these other languages, but it is in Excel, it's under the logical functions. So this is one of the functions we're gonna be doing today. So if function is there, okay, how do we use an if function? If function is used to especially when you are automating, and also when you are creating an algorithm in machine learning. So this is this is where you use a if function. So okay, so let's say maybe last time we spoke about the operators. We said operators uh, under operators we said we have comparisons. Comparisons are 2 greater than 3. So we said it's false. So we said anything that gives you true and false is a what? Is a boolean. So if you say, but basically here we are talking about the operators. So now we need to use the operators on the if function now. So if we're saying 5 is greater than 1, now let's say now we're saying if 2, make sure you put a colon and then you say enter. So it must, when you say enter, click here in the send, it must include, otherwise your code is not gonna run. So you must say and you say print. If 2 is greater than 3, then please print for me that is true. Okay. So what is wrong? What is wrong here? Here. Okay. Okay, let me 5. So it's saying true. Okay, let's say it is true. So let's, okay, let me just write it again. Say if 2 is, we're taking this operator now. 2 is greater. So okay, doesn't want to print. Okay, let's see. Why is it? Okay, let's say 2 is greater. Let's say 3. Why is it not printing the other one? Okay, so yeah, basically it's all about if function is there for you to, that is why they call it a it's a if function. So this is how you use our we're using a combination, we call it a combo. It's an if function in the operator. So now let's say let's use the other one we spoke about before, which was the what is it? A membership. We said membership. Membership code. So we say the membership, let's say membership, we said if I say yeah, then I say let me just say control. So now let's say you put in. You is in this sentence. Is it true or false? True. So in this sentence we find that we have you. So yes, it's true. But you, if you is not, don't use is, not, so it's saying false. So you is in hello, how are you? Okay. So now let's make this as a combo now. So we say if okay, let's just take this one, say control C. We'll make a variable now. We'll say greeting. Greeting is equal to this one. No control. No control. Greeting is equal to greeting is equal to so this is our variable. Our variable is greeting. So we're gonna use greeting. So we'll say if you greeting, then we put a column. Then so is agreeing, say yeah, yes, it is in, because you is inside hello, how are you? But let's say now so say if by is in greeting, print yes, it is in, not in this sentence here. So therefore, now we need to introduce what is called an else statement. Else statement. So we're gonna say, so after this, we must say enter. Make sure it is not in the center, else it mustn't be in the center. So you just say backspace, and you say else, and you say, and you put a colon. So then you say print. So basically we're saying if by is in greeting, which is here on the sentence, then print yes, it is in. Or else also means like if it is not, then print it is not in the sentence. So else is basically a opposite of agreeing. So saying if it is not inside this sentence, then print it is not in the sentence. So what other example maybe I can give? Okay, let me just make a basic one. Say if you will say x is equal to so according to the data type, this is a what? It's a list. So x is our variable, and then this is a list. So now we're gonna say if 6 is in x, then show then print. Not in x. So it is saying 6 is not in x. So if you're saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so show it is not in x. So this is how you use our if function. So, or okay, let's say maybe if 6 is not so just put x, say or else it says so it's saying 6 is not in x. So this is how basically in machine learning this is called classification. So if you are doing a machine learning, you can train your data. So this is how we were training our data. We put this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We train our, if X was a model, then we'll say we have trained we have been training our model. So we put this data, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then now the model can say, okay, now this is what I know. Now you're telling your model, you say if 6 is not in x, then print this, and if it is not, then print this. So this is what you have told your algorithm. Then it will study, when you are running your code, it will study the data that you have, and then it can give an outcome and say, no, according to what I know, it is not in x. So yeah, so this is how you use our if function. I don't want to get into the other one, it's going to confuse you guys, but maybe next week, like maybe on our next lesson before we start, I'm going to go through again to the if function and then add this other one. I don't want to feed you a lot in one lesson. So why are we using our if function? So basically this is a model that I've built using a iris flower. A iris flower, I won't go into detail about it, but it was a flower that was a so there was this statistician who was also who also was a biologist. So what he did is that he took this flower and then he he took this flower. Okay, let me show you this flower. If I can maybe show you this flower. Okay, this is an iris flower now. So let's go to Wikipedia. So, okay, so this is our iris flower. So our iris flower is looking like this. So this biologist, what he did is where is it? So what he did is that he took these features. He took what is called. Let me see if I can see here. Uh, mm, okay. So what he did is that. Okay, let me just. What he did is that he he measured the length of the leaf, and he also measured the breadth of the leaf. For each flower, so iris flower has a different species. It's got what is called Setosa venica. Let me see. It's got Virginica. It's also got Vesitosa and the other one. I forget the other one. So these are the species that this flower has. So what happened is that he took each piece and then he measured the width, he measured the length. Okay, let me just show you this data set. Let me see if I can find a data set. I don't know if it's okay. So yeah. So it says iris flower data set or Fisher's iris data set is a multivariate data set used and made famous by the British statistician, the biologist Ronald Fisher in his 1936 and so forth. So the data set is looking like this. Where is the data set? Data set machine learning. Okay, no, it's not here. Dun, dun, okay. Okay, no, let me see if I can get it here. Sure. Oh, there it is. So this is a data set. So these are the measurements. So there was a different species of this flower. So the first one is Setosa, and then there is Versicolor, and then there is Virginic. So each piece he took about how many samples? He recorded about 150 records. So which means maybe he will record 75 of Setosa, maybe 75 of Versicolor, and the other one as well. So these are the measurements of the samples of the flowers that he took. So for the sepal length, it is 5.1. For the sepal width, it is 3.5, and so forth. So these are the features. We call it features, and then these are the species. So I'm not teaching machine learning. I'm just showing you what is happening here. So let me just say, let me copy this data set and say control and then go there. I'm trying to show you how do we use our if function. So my model has been trained now. It's been trained. I've trained my model, and then now I said if okay, these are the features. These are the features, but we don't know what these features for. Is it maybe for Setosa flower? Is it maybe for a vesicular flower, or maybe for virginic? So we have to use the if function. So you say if iris or maybe these features, if these features are for maybe for, okay, where is prediction? Okay, if this feature, okay, this algorithm has to identify whether these features are for the Setosa, vesicular, or virginic. So yeah, let me run this one. So now it's saying there are four. Okay, let me wait, still running. Let me run all of them. Okay, still processing. It's taking long. Okay, let me just say. I don't know why it's taking so long. So, but yeah, this is a day to identify whether these features are for a vesicular or Setosa and so forth. Let me see if I have another example here, maybe 15. 15. Okay, this one is coming up. Um, okay, so this one is something else. No, it's for this is an algorithm for predicting money. This one. So basically, here what I was doing. No, it's gonna confuse you. Let me not explain. Let's see this one. Yeah, it is running now. So it is saying these features are for the Setos. So let's put these ones that I copied there on a Wikipedia. You say Control V. So it was. So let's see what are these features. So which one I copied? I copied these ones. I said 5.1, 3.5, 1.4, 0. So let's see if my is really trained well. If it is trained well, it will be able to identify a feature. Let me enter here. Okay, so let me just say comma so it's 5.1, 3.5, 1.4, 1.4. So let's say so he's saying it is a Cetos. So this side, what is it? It's a Cetos of flower. So let's say maybe I take maybe these features here. Okay, let's see what a vesicle. So these features are 5.9, 3.0, 4.2, 5.9, 5.9, 5.9, 3.0, 4.2. It's a vesicle. So this is basically how where you use.
Are you sharing your screen?
Yeah, you don't see it.
I don't.
Okay. For how long you don't see? Okay, let me show it.
No, not too long.
All right. Okay. Yeah, now I think it's showing that side. So I picked this one. Okay, let me show you this. I picked this one. It was a number 62. Yeah. So it's showing now.
Yes.
So it is number 62. Then I say, and then let me go to this part here. So we are sharing number 62. So I said, let's change these features here. And say, and let me just say, okay. So it is saying this is a vesicle. So let's see our number 62. Number 62 is a vesicle. So let's take another one for Virginica. Let's take number 117. So I trained this model by myself. So where do we use this? Where will you use this algorithm? You can use it maybe, for example, to predict a. Okay, let's just finish this one. Then basically, there is the reason why are you learning the season. End of the day, you want the be able to predict, and also, so there is a machine learning. So saying it's a virginic. So these features are for the virginic. So you see, my model has been trained very, very well, and it's saying the accuracy is 97%. So it can really predict it very well. I have trained it very well. So let's see our 117. On my model is saying the virginic. 117 is a virginic. So it has been trained very well. So this is where you use our if function. So but you use it on many problems. So yeah, machine learning, you can use it for like for example here, this data set is for years of experience, salary. So the HR is saying, okay, if Tamaza is worked for 5 years and is earning this amount, we want to predict how much can we pay him after 10 years. Yeah. If he now is earning this amount, we want to predict how much can he be earning in 20 years. We don't want to calculate. We just want the algorithm to just predict it for us using our initial data. So this is what I was doing. I trained this model using this data, and then this is when it was predicting. So now I said for someone who has been working for 2 years, it's saying he will earn this amount. For 5 years, he will earn this amount. For 6 years, this is an amount. If I add another one, this will predict different amount. So the accuracy for this data, for this algorithm is here it was showing 85%. So I think I have to run it again. This is why it's processing. So yeah, this is basically why we are using the if function. So yeah, I know this was a lot of explanation today, but did you catch anything? Did you understand anything? Ayomi, did you understood anything? Yeah, I know it was the first time today. Okay. He is muted. Okay. Tamaza, how was the lesson for your side?
Yeah, so I mean, this was very new to me. I will need to practice that to get the hang of it. But the school stuff,
Yeah, if functions are very popular, especially in Excel. Excel, you use it in many problems, especially for example, you want to say maybe you got a data that is having like 3,000 rows. I work with the data which having 3,000 rows, and then they're saying these are the salaries. So these salaries, their rows are 3,000. So this is all the salaries. Then they will say to you, capture here and all the salaries that are below 5,000. Then you must say need an increase. But this one that are above 5,000, you must say doesn't need any increase. So you don't need to capture. Oh, when are you gonna reach the 3,000? All these 3,000 row. How are you gonna finish it? It's gonna take a lot of time, and maybe you still need to do other way. So you'll use an if function. You'll say if if it is if this amount is less than 5,000, then you say write need an increase. Then you say else. Else now is like those ones that are above. Then you say it doesn't need an increase. So it is basically how you use a function in Excel. So yeah, I know. I'll hear from you when you have practice and tell me how is it going. But I think it's simple. Is when you have practice it, you're gonna understand it. It's very simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Bruce. All right. Thank you so much. We'll meet another time. I'll confirm on the group. I think maybe Monday we can maybe join another class. But as for IOMate, I think we need to have a separate lesson for him because he hasn't done this other lesson that we did. So now
Okay.
we're just combining them today. So all right, I thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, sure.